Why do some small cards of the tarot have perfectly lovely titles and perfectly pleasant meanings, and some just awful? Why is one card love and happiness or uh, pleasure, and others are cruelty and despair and ruin and bummer? We're going to find out a little bit more about that today as we continue to discuss the little white book that goes with the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic. Uh, I have here the small cards of the tarot. There are, there we go, there are 36 of them. And there just happens to be 36 decans or periods of 10 degrees in the zodiac. And the zodiac has three kinds of signs: cardinal, fixed, or mutable. And and within those cardinal, fixed, and mutable, each sign of the zodiac is either a fire sign or a water sign or an air sign or an earth sign. So we've got cardinal, fixed, and mutable, and we've got fire, water, air, and earth. And that's how the zodiac signs are split up. Now I'm going to show you something. Here's all 36 cards of the small cards of the tarot. And I've got them ordered 2, 3. Remember, the aces aren't small cards. All these cards live inside the ace. So the numbers of the cards that I've got in this stack number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, through all 36 cards. They repeat the pattern 2 through 10. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. I've got these arranged by the solar year. And the solar year begins with Aries, which is cardinal fire. Okay, 2, 3, 4 of wands. And look at the dates of those decans and the degrees: 0 through 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and we go March, April, all the way up to April 20th. Okay, so the next sign of the zodiac after Aries is Taurus. And Taurus is earth. Okay, and it's fixed earth. Incidentally, all the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s will wind up as cardinal signs. The 2s, 3s, and 4s are all cardinals. So 2, 3, 4 of Aries. Next comes Taurus, which is earth. So in sequence, it'll be 5, 6, 7. And it'll be 5, 6, 7 of earth, of Taurus. 5, 6, 7. Taking us all the way to May 20th. Okay. What comes after Taurus? Gemini. Gemini's air, and it's mutable. We pick it right up, 8, 9, 10, but it's swords. May 21, all the way to June 20th, and then the cycle starts over again. And we'd be at cardinal water for Cancer, which is the next sign of the zodiac. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, and then on and on and on throughout the zodiacal year. Okay, there's our audio visual for today. The 36 small cards. The remaining 36 cards are the 2s through 10s of the 4 suits. The cards with titles like love, sorrow, abundance are often the most helpful in tarot readings because they appear to deal directly with the mundane matters of love, health, business, and the immediate future. While not ignoring the efficacy of the small cards as divinatory tools, the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic also uncovers a treasure house of hidden information that can be of invaluable aid to the student and practitioner of magic. But before we dig for those treasures, we should answer some of the very fundamental questions. Why are the small cards titled the way they are? Why is the 10 of Cups called, 2 of Cups called love, and the 3 of Cups called, or the 3 of Swords called sorrow? Why is the 5 of Wands strife, but the 6 of Wands victory? Were the titles and attributes arbitrarily created somewhere in the dim past? Are they purely traditional? There's an answer. The titles and meanings of the 36 small cards are determined by 3 hermetic variables. The first 2 variables are astrological, and the third purely Kabbalistic. Hang on, it's easier than you think. Variable number 1. Zodiacal attributions, as we've just seen here. Each of the 36 small cards represents 10 degrees or 1 decant of the zodiac. In groups of 3, the 9 wands represent all the fire signs. The 9 cups represent all the water signs, and the 9 swords represent all the air signs, and the 9 discs represent the earth signs. The 2s, 3s, and 4s are the cardinal signs. Aries for fire, Cancer for water, air for Libra, Capricorn for earth. And all the 5s, 6s, and 7s are the fixed signs. Leo for fire, Scorpio for water, Aquarius for air, and Taurus for earth. And all the 8s, 9s, and 10s are the mutable signs. Sagittarius for fire, Pisces for water, Gemini for air, and Virgo for earth. Now, as they go through the zodiac, I'm digressing for a moment. As they go through the zodiac, they go through the elemental attributes in the following order: fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Starting with Aries anyway, it's fire, earth, air, water. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, etc., etc. The exact degrees in the approximate days of the years that the cards represent are displayed in the upper right-hand section of each of the small cards of the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, just like that. Starting at 0 degrees Aries, and placed in the following order, the entire year is chronologically represented, just like we did here. 2, 3, 4 of Wands is Aries, cardinal fire. 5, 6, 7 of Discs, Taurus, is fixed earth. 8, 9, 10 of Swords, Gemini, mutable air. Then 2, 3, 4 of Cups, Cancer, cardinal water. 5, 6, 7 of Wands, Leo, fixed fire. 8, 9, 10 of Discs, Virgo, mutable earth. 2, 3, 4 of Swords, Libra, cardinal air. 5, 6, 7 of Cups, Scorpio, fixed water. See, all the 5, 6, 7s are fixed. 8, 9, 10 of wands, mutable. Sagittarius, mutable fire. 2, 3, 4 of discs, Capricorn, cardinal, earth. 5, 6, 7 of swords, Aquarius, fixed air. 8, 9, 10 of cups, Pisces, mutable water, and the year starts all over again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cardinal fixed mutable, cardinal fixed mutable, cardinal fixed mutable. Fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water. It's so clean it squeaks. The student is encouraged to lay out a great counterclockwise circle using the small cards arranged in the above order. Then, place the knights, queens, and princes next to the 3 small cards which represent the same degrees and days of the year. In this way, it's easy to see how the court cards rule the various small cards. And if we want to get fancy, now place the princesses and their respective aces together in a cross or square in the center of your circle. Looking down at the figure, it is as though you're looking down upon the earth from the North Pole, and the great circle of cards girdling the equator represent the belt of the zodiac. Variable number 2. In addition to a zodiacal attribution, a planet has been allocated to each of the 36 small cards. Beginning with 0 degrees Leo, and here we may have debate among modern magicians that like to start everything at 0 degrees Aries. But the tradition, or at least the tradition as interpreted by the adepts of the Golden Dawn, go back to even more primitive and ancient astrological traditions that even though the solar year may start at 0 degrees Aries, the astrological, which is cardinal air or fire, the ancient Chaldean astrology started with fixed fire at 0 degrees Leo. So, beginning at 0 degrees Leo, the traditional Chaldean start of the year, and moving by decans through the year, the planets are assigned in the following Kabbalistic order: Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Now, just to remind you, that would be the descending order of the tree of life. Saturn at number 3, Jupiter at number 4, Mars at number 5, Sun at number 6, Venus at number 7, Mercury at number 8, and Luna at number 9. So that's the order that the planets are assigned to these decans. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sol, Venus, Mercury, Luna. And then that pattern repeats. This pattern is repeated until all 36 decans have been assigned a planet. Okay. I know some of you are adding up on your fingers that something doesn't quite add up, and you're right. Okay. Note, as there are 7 planets and 36 decans, the ancient astrologers were faced with one leftover decan. This they corrected by repeating the assignment of Mars to both the last decan of winter at 20 to 30 degrees Pisces, the 10 of Cups, and the first decan of spring, 0 degrees to 10 degrees Aries, or the 2 of Wands. So we've got the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Wands, each getting, they fall next to each other in the year, they each get an extra boost of Mars, as if it was an extra dose of fiery energy of Mars to overcome winter's momentum and usher in the spring. Things don't always work out perfectly. Don't blame me. I didn't make this. Not my fault. But it works, and it works lovely. And it all works out in the great wheel of the year. Okay, so the planetary zodiacal information is displayed in two areas of each of the small cards of the Tarot Ceremonial Magic. The first place is underneath the title at the very bottom. So that's perfected work. See, we got Venus in Aries. And we've got that information on the Enochian square from the great cross on each of the elemental tablets. We see Aries or Venus in Aries. Venus in Aries, Venus in Aries. Okay. Now we've determined the first two variables in determining the title and character of the small cards and can already tell a great deal about it. The Two of Wands, Dominion, for example, has the astrological attribution of Mars in the very compatible sign of Aries. The qualities of dominion then are manifested nicely by Mars in Aries. But there is one more variable to be considered before the true characteristic of each small card is determined. And that's the number and the suit of the card. So variable number 3, its position on the tree of life. Is it a 2? Is it a 2? Is it a 3? Is it a 4? Is it a 5? Is it a 6? Each of those positions is a sephira, or an emanation, or an aspect of Godhead itself, particular quality, an underlying major quality. Not only that, there's 4 kinds of trees of life that go to 4 Kabbalistic worlds. And those Kabbalistic worlds are also identified in tarot as wands, cups, swords, and discs. And those 4 Kabbalistic worlds have their counterpart in the human soul in just the same way. We've got our chai, or our life force itself. We've got our soul intuition. We've got our intellect, and we've got the body itself, split up in 4 ways, just like the Kabbalistic worlds of archetypal, creative, formative, and material. But I digress. Okay, we recall there's 4 Kabbalistic worlds, each representing a letter in the divine name Yod-He-Vav-He. We also recall that the 4 worlds correspond to the 4 suits of the tarot. Each world is represented as a primal unity, Kether, or the aces. That's the top. That's the top of the tree of life, all the aces. The Aset expresses itself in 10 emanations, or Sephiroth. As we discussed earlier, the 10 Sephiroth are connected by 22 paths corresponding to the letters of the Hebrew alphabet and the tarot trumps. When put together in the diagram, they form a figure called the Tree of Life. Each of the 4 Kabbalistic worlds is represented by its own Tree of Life, with unique attributes. The aces represent the uppermost sephira of each tree, and the remaining 9 small cards of each suit are placed as in the diagram below. All the 2s, all the 3s, all the 4s, all the 5s, all the 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, they got a home on a tree of life all their own. Each sephira of the 4 descending Kabbalistic worlds has its own traditional correspondences and attributes. The characteristic, these characteristics, along with the astrological attributes of each small card, are then weighed to determine the overall nature and title of each card, each small card. And I'll give the example. If I can find the Five of Wands, we'll look at it here. Just okay. Start with the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is called strife. Saturn, one of the buzzwords for Saturn is restriction. In Leo, power and fiery energy. In the fifth Sephirah, Geburah, stress, disturbance, equals strife. Okay, let's see. Hang on. The very next card in the sequence is the Six of Wands. It's got a very pleasant victory. Okay. Jupiter, the great fortune, the beneficent expansion and order guy. In Leo, power and fiery energy. In the sixth Sephirah, okay, Tifereth, which is beauty and supreme balance, equals victory. Each of the small cards can be thus worked out, and by considering the three variables as we have done, give us the title of the card. Now, some work out more obviously better than others, okay? But if you really put on your thinking cap and explore those variables, the planet in the zodiac sign, and you got to remember the rulership of each of the planets and zodiac sign. Some planets are really happy to be in a zodiac sign, and some zodiac signs are really welcoming to certain planets, and others just are not. And so we've got the stresses of that. Then, depending on the suit, which gives us the Kabbalistic world, and the Sephirah it's in, which gives us the general planetary attribute of the planetary sphere, we have the variables that mix together in a little recipe that gives us the title of the cards. Okay. Please register if you have not already for its day after tomorrow. Okay, the invocation workshop. Please, if you haven't registered, do so today. If you are confused how to register or anything else, message me here on Facebook and I'll figure out a way to get that information to you. We've got a real big class already assembled, and I'm very happy and looking forward to it. Thank everyone who has been thoughtful enough to register early and make sure that you have your place. So we'll see you on Wednesday for invocation, the magical significance and importance of invocation. It's Monday. Have a good start to your week, everyone. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is